This is the first time that we've actually had some of the WeSchoolers involved in our camp. Now, in the past, we've been welcomed to have our events and showcases here, and we had an inkling that some of the WeSchoolers would be really valuable for our projects. So we tried an experiment, and we said, hey, let's see if we can bring in just a few of these WeSchoolers. We had 16 students participate to work with our teams to work on new breakthrough technologies in healthcare. So we tried it out. We were hesitant at first, and we were pleasantly surprised by how big of a contribution the WeSchoolers have made throughout the week, and we welcome more collaboration after this week. So for example, the WeSchoolers did an excellent job at actually figuring out what they should be doing and what they should be helpful on. And when you work with an engineering team, one of the most useful things you can do is to go solicit user feedback. So taking the devices that we're building in the lab and going out into the market and asking people how they're engaging with those devices and finding out more information for the engineers to iterate on later. So it was a beautiful flow from engineering development to user testing, back to the engineers to redevelop the product. So that was one incredible way that the WeSchoolers really helped contribute. One project is, so this is a project that I'm leading, and it's a sleep apnea diagnostic mask. So I have sleep apnea. The problem with sleep apnea is diagnosing it is a very tedious task. You have to stay overnight in the hospital. They strap 24 different things onto your body and expect you to sleep normally while viewing you through a camera all night. And as you can tell, that's hard to sustain and quite costly. So most hospitals, for example, Hinduja Hospital only has 3 beds. So you can only take 3 people in at one night to figure out if they are suspected to have this sleep illness. So what we're doing as part of this device is let's try and bring the diagnostic into the comfort of the patient's home and allow them to test it on themselves for multiple nights. So we have stronger data and we can do mass screening. Now, Rohan, who is part of our team from the WeSchool, actually was the one student on this project, and he did an incredible job. Now, if you were to ask anybody in India, if you were to try and find a statistic for how many people in India were aware of sleep apnea, and those who were not aware of sleep apnea, how many of them actually were suspected of having sleep apnea, you wouldn't be able to find those numbers anywhere. So what did Rohan do? He actually went out into the malls areas, into the local hospitals, and surveyed 203 people over the last week, asking them both, are they aware of sleep apnea, and asking them some pre-diagnostic questions that we typically use in the field to evaluate somebody's risk for sleep apnea. So that data, that's new data that nobody's ever collected, and we already have 200 people in that database. So Rohan has done an amazing job not only tracking those people down, but making meetings with hospitals so that we could have ground truth data for our device to do sleep studies. So I really look forward to working with more WeSchoolers throughout the year. I think this is, for us at REDX and at MIT, it's important not to just have a one-week engagement like a hackathon. We don't like that. What we want to do is continue, because we want to see the end of a product and we want to see it out in the market. So what we're looking forward to is doing some remote collaboration when we fly back to Boston, and really seeing some of the WeSchoolers step up to help lead the teams while they're in India when we're not available. And I think it's going to be a really great opportunity for some of them to learn in practice, actually working with engineers and scientists and doing this remote collaboration, and then going into the market, actually walking physically up to stakeholders and customers and doctors to talk to them and interact with them, rather than just mapping it out all out on paper. And I really look forward to seeing more of that hard evidence, just like Rohan had put together, to show our engineers and our scientists how are we going to get these devices out into the market.